Okay, I thought everything was working. So, oh my goodness. Today we're at the Grand Canyon. Yay! I was getting ready today and I realized, well, I was just kind of opening up my drawers and I have this drawer where I keep like jewelry. And I opened it up and I saw this beautiful, beautiful Navajo jewelry that I bought on a trip to the Grand Canyon last spring. Can you hear my voice now? Is it working?
Yes.
Okay. So I found my jewelry that I got at the Grand Canyon. And I thought, oh my gosh, because we've been at home, you know, with this whole, you know, stay-at-home thing, I haven't been wearing any jewelry because I don't wear it around the house. And I thought, I'm going to put that on, and I wanted to show you. So this is one of my bracelets. It's real Navajo, and I absolutely love it. And I made my family spend hour upon hour upon hour in different jewelry stores while I spoke with these beautiful, wonderful Navajo women and talked to them about, you know, the artistry and the history, and it was just absolutely wonderful. So here we are today at the Grand Canyon, just kind of in celebration of that, my memories. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing great. Today we're going to be working with a stamp set called Thank You. And on Tuesday we worked with the Whale Wishes. And the Whale Wishes was one where we had done the stamp set, but we didn't do a die set with it. And we had so many requests for it that we added a die set. And so the Thank You set is another. We actually released them in the same collection. And so we had a lot of requests for the dies that go with this. So we now have the dies for both of these. So for the Whale Wishes and for the Thank You. And I love this set. I just think this is the sweetest, sweetest set. Look at these little sheep. They're just the cutest little guys. I absolutely love them. They're so sweet. I mean, I know I say that about everything that I work with, that we put out, and all the stuff that I work with, but that's how I feel about it. I wouldn't be making it if I didn't love it. So we're also going to work with, let me put this up on the screen. And this is where I'm being a little gutsy because it has not been the easiest of days today. And I decided to work on something that's mechanical. And I am not mechanically inclined whatsoever. So we're going to try this out. This is actually not a difficult die set to work with. It's just that I'm having a rough day. So I'm hoping it's going to go well. Anyway, we're going to work with this. This is called the Swivel Slide. This is the Tab Master. And we're going to work with a couple of the dies in here, as well as a couple of the add-ons. I'm actually going to switch the camera so you guys can get a better shot of this. Excuse me as I cough and choke to death here. Okay, here we go. Let me figure this out. So we're going to switch the camera, turn off the green screen. There we go. So here we go. On the Move Swivel Slide, this has, I'm going to show you what this makes. Because as I do, I've already prepped some stuff. I got to reduce this brightness here. We have to have I have to have the brightness up to a certain point for one camera, but I have to lower it down for the overhead. I think that's a little bit better. All right, let me show you this. I'm going to explain to you why we call it a swivel slide. I put tape on here just because I like to have a little ramp here instead. It's one of my little tips and tricks. So this is a swivel slide. See how it moves? Let me move this over. We call it a swivel slide because you're going to build this and it's going to move, and this swivel is what kind of allows it to go up and around those curves nicely. And so we're going to use the dies in here to build this. And I've already cut everything, and I'm going to show you kind of quickly how to build that. We don't have a tremendous amount of time. We've only got an hour. So I've already got everything all prepped and ready. And I'm going to walk you through it, but I'm not going to do all the die cutting. I've already done that. So we're also going to, I wanted to show you these quickly too. We also have two add-on die sets. So we have the Jump to It and the Around the Bend. So we call this Around the Bend because you're going around curves. And this one you're going around kind of like a big old S curve, which is really, really fun and cool. And then this one we call Jump to It because we have this one in here where it's almost like a bunny, like he's jumping, like, you know, boing. And then this one here as well. This is the one they're going to work with. This is more like a hill. So there's two dies in each of these add-ons. And then in the Tab Master, you get the two straight slides, and then you get this one that has a little bit of a swivel to it, which is really fun. And then all these other pieces in here as well. And when you go to the website, you'll actually, this doesn't have instructions on it, but there are downloadable instructions on the page where this is. So you can download that PDF and you can print that off. And it actually looks like this. So these are the instructions that you would print off. And we take you step by step through everything in its front and back as well. Okay? So that makes that super duper easy for you. So let's get on to, I'm going to show you this really quick too. So we have the thank you. So we have these beautiful little sheep, and they're just so much fun. We have this little guy, looks like he's jumping and dancing, and he's just standing there shaking his groove thing, looking at you, so cute. Love him. And we've got the cutest sentiments in here. Wishing you every happiness. You are very sheepiated. So grateful to you. When I count my blessings, I count you twice. And this is actually two stamps, which is really nice. And then this beautiful little hill, the little grass, kind of like a little grassy knoll, just really cute stuff. So let me show you this. I want to show you the simple, how to build this. I'm going to step you through it. Now, just so you know, because these get a lot of action, whenever this is just my thing. Oh, and somebody says, what kind of paper for the swivel? I actually cut this out of my Nina, and I was just about to speak to that. I like to use a really good heavy cardstock, because whenever you have a mechanical card, it's going to have a lot of movement to it. People are going to be playing with it. There's going to be a lot of action with it. And it's really important that it can hold up to it. So I will usually, whoops, here's my little samples. But I will cut two of these. And I do this with my Nina because it's a heavier cardstock, and then I will just kind of glue them together so that they're nice and thick. So this is that piece that you're going to cut with your Tab Master. All right? And then, did I forget something? I think I forgot a piece. I don't see it. Can you hand me actually believe it or not, my garbage over there? Yes, hand it to me. I think I tossed out a piece accidentally. I don't know if you're going to be able to find it. But no, it's not the circle. It was like an oval piece. Oh, well, yeah, it's kind of an oval. It's, huh? Yep, that's it. Perfect. My husband found it. Jeez. Okay. So, as I was saying, I cut two of these and I tape them together, or I usually use glue because I'm going to be cutting it with the die, and if I use a tape, that can be awfully sticky. So then I would then take, can't see it because I already taped them. Let me get rid of this piece. But there's a little, let me show you what's on here. These two pieces right here. So this one, it's kind of like a half of an oval with a circle in the middle. And then this one is like a half a circle. All right, so these two pieces here, you're going to place, I've got one of them underneath here that I've already taped. And this is in the instructions. So we show it, where is it? This is what I'm talking about right here. So I've taped one and then the other, just like this as in the instructions. Tape them down, they both have a blade on them, run them through the machine, and then they're going to cut apart. All right, so this little piece is garbage, you toss that aside, and then I end up with this piece here, and I can just set that aside, now I don't need it, and this piece. All right, so this is what you end up with. So we start with this, two of them, adhere them together, cut it with your two dies, just like it shows in the instructions, and then you end up with this right here. The next thing you do is you use this die. And this has the blade around the outside, and then it has these other little blades right on the inside here, and then it cuts this circle here. This is what's going to cut these two pieces, okay? This piece right here is cut in these four little sections. That's going to allow me to pop up 2 of the sections, just like that. All right. So it's got like little wings. My next step, flip that over and get my glue. My next step is to place, this is how I do it. I turn it over because I hold those 2 flaps, and I'm going to put my glue right in here. And you don't want so much that it's going to squeeze out all over the place. You don't want it to squish out. And then I take that and I just put that right at the tip. Hold that down for a moment and let that dry. And keep those flaps up because you don't want those flaps to go down. We're in the process right now of creating that swivel. Okay? To give that a moment to dry. And then where we've got this circle here, now this might take me a moment because mine's not dry yet because I just did it. I would normally go maybe color an image while this dried. But I'm going to squeeze these 2 pieces together and I'm going to place that circle over it and just kind of slide them through. You just have to work it through a little bit till you get that other corner. There's one. I wish it was glued. I wouldn't have to be so delicate with it if I had time to let it glue down. Okay, so there we go. So now that piece is over it. All right, so here's my flaps. You can see those flaps. So the next thing, check to make sure it's sliding really easily, okay? This is an important step. You want to make sure all along the way that it is still sliding because you want to make sure you don't glue it down. If you glue it down, you're going to be in trouble. You're not going to be able to swivel. So the next thing I'm going to do is put some glue just on those flaps that are on top there. And do not be real generous with that glue because you don't want it to squeeze out all over the place. And then you take that little circle and you're going to lay that over the top. And again, make sure it's still swiveling. Hold that down, but make sure it's swiveling. You don't want that to stick. All right, so it's still going. All right, now, I don't think you can see this, but let's see. Can you see on the screen that I have little score lines here? I don't know if you can see that. No. Well, let me show you on the die. All right, on the die, we have these little score lines right here. Those are cutting into that, not cutting into the paper, they're pressing into the paper. So you see this, I see the score lines. All right, so those score lines are going to help me to know where to fold it. So in the instructions, we have this where you fold this up. So the first one goes up. The next score line goes back. And I like to fold it all the way back. And then the next score line goes back again. And so what you end up creating is this shape. See that? So we have a flat edge there. Which way? This way? There we go. See that flat edge? Now I'm going to do the same thing. Keep swiveling that. Make sure that glue isn't drying anywhere. So I go up, and then I go back with the first score line, and then the next score line I go back again. Now I bring these in and I can put them together just like this. All right, that's where I want to put some adhesive or a tape. I'm going to see if I can use this tape because actually, you know what? I need you to fix that. I forgot when I was working with it. I messed it up. Figures.
So right now would be good?
So right now would be good. So I'm going to go ahead with this. This isn't going to dry fast enough though. And I think I just over glued.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would usually just kind of hold this here if I was using a glue like I am, because you want it to hold. I don't want to lift these flaps up because if any glue seeps out, I don't want it to hold these flaps shut. So let me just hold this for a moment. I'm not going to do this for very long. I just want to make sure it'll stay. And it's not. So maybe Alan can do that. Can you hold that for me for a moment?
I don't think so.
Just that little bit in the center there. If you could do that, then I can move on to the next step. Okay. So the next thing is you have a die in here. It's this one right here. And when you run that through, that's going to give you a little score line. Can you see that score line in the middle there? I don't know if you can. But that's going to give you a score line. Typically, I would cut this out of like a pattern paper, but I didn't, and I wasn't thinking. And what I could do is run over this with an ink. But I like using these because I can use this to give me a finished look to my pull tab, but I can also use it. See, if I put it here, I can extend it a little bit. So I can use that as an extension. And it's really nice if you want to stamp a word on there, like maybe you want to stamp something that says pull or hello or love or something. And if you do this out of a pretty pattern paper that coordinates with your card, it's really, really cute too. So that's what you do with that piece. Then we have this piece here, all right? We have this die. We have a cut line all around and score lines right in here. Can you see the score lines? I don't think you can. Maybe you can, a little bit there. So I'm going to fold on these score lines, and this is what's going to create the kind of the track that I need to hold the pull tab in alignment as I'm using it. All right, so I use my adhesive here, and then I'm just going to fold this in, tape this together. All right, so there's that. And then we have this piece here. This is your other die. When I run it through, I get this. And this is what your image is going to go on. And we make this really, really long, and you're going to be able to trim this to whatever size you need it to be. But we made it really, really long for, you know, in case you have a really tall image, depending on how you're going to use it. We wanted to make sure you had options. If we had made it really short, you can't extend it, but being that it's long, you can shorten it. So you just have to cut it to whatever size you need. So, and that's where you can see here on the front, see how this looks? That's where this piece goes. That part where those flaps are that Alan's holding, that's where this piece goes, is right on there. And then I always put a little piece of tape. This is where that circle was. And I'm always very cautious because as you're sliding things, you got to remember we are working with paper, and you know, little things can happen. So on this piece here, oh, it looks like he glued it together. It's all right. He glued it together, but it's all right. So here's where we put that other circle. Well, it has a little bit of a ridge here, and I just like to be cautious because as you're moving it and, you know, it starts to get worn and broken in, the more, you know, activity there is with it. Because every time somebody grabs this card, they're going to want to slide that. I like to put a piece of tape there just to get rid of some of that edge, and it just makes it, I think it makes it so that you don't have to worry so much about anything catching in there. So that's just a little tip or trick from me. So, all right, I'm going to move these pieces over now since I've shown you what they do. Oh, and this is where you would attach. So here's this would go right here. And I always put it right at the very bottom of this so that I have the full length of that, and then I trim that down to whatever I need it. So let's now move to the card. So that shows you how those die pieces work. And now I want to get to putting this card together. We're going to cross our fingers. This is part of our, I think it's called In the Grass die set. It's a 3-die set. This one is the hill. We have one that's a valley, and then we have one that's a flat plane. I use the hill. And I cut these 2 hills of grass. All right. And on one, well, I'll talk about the foam when we get to that, because there's a reason why I have a lot of foam there. This is my card base. All right, so this is A2, which means it's 4 1/4 and 5 1/2 inches. Set that aside. This is extra in case I need it. Now this, here it is. This piece, I don't know if you can see that shine in there. So let me tell you what I did here, because this is just your basic, simple ink blending. I wanted to create kind of a beautiful night sky, but I wanted it to be kind of like a fantasy night sky, like a dream, almost like a dream sequence, because I think that I was thinking of these little guys and I thought of them jumping, you know, like you're counting sheep at night. And so I thought a little dream sequence would kind of be fun to work with. And so I thought, how can I do this? What colors can I combine? So I grabbed several of my hybrid inks. These are the colors that I used. So I started from bottom to top. This is Peachy Keen. Super cute. And oh, and I did this on my blender card. My Strathmore, Bristol, oops, Strathmore, Bristol, smooth surface, best blending card in the universe, cut to A2, and I didn't have this in here when I was doing the blending. So I started with Peachy Keen, then I went up to, got it upside down, Pink Tutu, Fandango, which is one of my favorite names for these hybrids, and I love the color. Then we went to Boysenberry Blast. I love Boysenberry. And then finally, Grape Ape. Do you guys remember that cartoon with the grape ape? When I was a kid, there was a cartoon, there was a grape ape, and I saw that when I was naming this, that's what I thought of. Yeah. So there's a reason for a lot of these names. Anyway, so that's that graduation of color. And then I went over it with, the reason it looks it looks cloudy when the lights are hitting it right now, but it's really like sparkly. I don't know if you can see, oh, there it is. See that glisten? See how that's hitting? Isn't that stunning? I just wanted this to shine and shimmer. I think it's so pretty. So I grabbed these guys, Ganzai Tambi, and I don't know if that's how you say it or not, but I love these paints, absolutely love these watercolor paints. This is the Starry Colors. It's a 6-color set, and I used this one right down here. It's almost a white. What is it called? It's called White Gold. So pretty. So I just grabbed a little bit of water and I grabbed one of my brushes and I literally just painted right over the top of that. And it just gives it that beautiful, beautiful shimmer and shine. So I love it. I think it's stunning. So I think it looks kind of magical. So that is that. So that's all the pieces. And then here are the little animals that I went ahead and stamped. So as you can see, my die cutting was not perfect, but it'll do. I don't worry about it if it's not perfect. I don't really care. So I stamped all 3 of these adorable little sheep because they're just so playful and fun. We're going to have the sheep jumping over this fence. We're going to have this little guy up in the air, up in the sky. And I did 3 of the trees because I thought I might do something like woods. We'll see how that works. And I went ahead and colored them with Copics. So the first thing that I want to do, oh, and I was thinking about what I was going to do with the sentiment. And before I forget, because I always forget, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment on the inside of the card. And I haven't done that yet in my videos, but I want to do it on this one. This card is going to open in this direction. So I'm going to stamp a sentiment right here. And I'm stamping it on the front because we're going to have a lot of things, I'm stamping it on the inside because we're going to have a lot going on the front of this card. And I have a feeling, oops, I'm not going to have room for much of a sentiment on there. Let me get this stuff out of the way so I don't mess it up when I bring out my black ink. Wouldn't that would be devastating if I got ink all over it. At least for me it would be. Okay, so here's my card. And here's my sentiment. So this one says, the one I've grabbed is, wishing you every happiness. And when I stamp on the inside, I like to go in the center horizontally and then up a little bit. So it's just a little bit north of center. And I think that looks pretty much in the center, horizontally anyway. I like to be north of center so you have plenty of space down there to write a personalized note. I'm so thrilled that I remembered to do this before building that card, because that I don't know how I wouldn't have been able to use my my Misty if I had built up that card first. I'm going to do this one more time. Let's make sure that that is really, really solid. That font is so pretty. I need to use that some more. I like it a lot. That looks great. All right. Let's wipe this up. Gotta put things away so I don't lose them. I almost lost that one die piece there. Does anybody have any questions? Everybody's so quiet. You know, I just realized I didn't really say hello to everybody. I didn't get a chance to check and see who's here today. Oh, Carol's here. Carol Held is here. Hey, Carol. I see you on YouTube, and Shelly and Beth Valone. Denise Bryant, Ivy Elf, who else is here? Let me see. Annette, hi. Erlene Gordon, Jane. Hey everybody. On YouTube, I'm gonna check the Facebook page here. Kathy Marvel and two Kathys. Annette, Carrie Ann. Oh, Ellen, you're here. Yay. Blanca is here. Hello. Elisa. Let me see, who else is over here? Over in the Facebook group, we've got Lucy, Alina. Hey, Alina. Sharon, hi. Daisy, Stephanie girl.
Daisy from Australia.
Daisy from Australia. Nice to see you. Beverly Gleason. So many people. Oh, my goodness gracious. Thank you all for being here. It's so sweet of you. So, all right, so here's my sentiment. I'm not going to close that up yet because it's a hybrid. It does take a moment to dry, so I'm going to leave that open and set it aside. And we're going to go ahead. So I have this piece done. Now typically, just so you know, I would not adhere this piece already. I would slide this through into the slider piece before I did that, but I was playing with it and I went ahead and did it, and I thought, well, I can't remove it now. But let me tell you, this I decided I wanted to work with this particular die right here. All I did was laid it over over where I wanted it to be. I figured out with these two pieces, these two die cuts that I already talked to you about with the grass, this is how I decided I wanted this to be. I wanted 2 layers of grass, and I'm using the grass to conceal or hide that track in the back. And so that's what kind of helped me figure out where I wanted that track to be placed. And I knew I wanted to have some stuff up here in the sky, so I wanted to place it kind of in the lower half of my card. So that's how I determined where that was going to go. But you don't want it to be too close to the bottom because you need to have some space here to allow for some of that foam to go. The foam tape, you know, because we're going to have to build this up and have space in there to allow for the mechanism to move. So I wouldn't go too close to the edge down there. Okay? So that is another little tip. So this is moving freely, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and slide this up in here. Again, I would not have this piece on here normally. Not yet anyway. I would normally put this thing through. Make sure it's all going through here just fine. It would go through a lot easier if I didn't have this on here. There we go. And so now you can see just kind of basically how this is going to go. Okay, so it goes up and down and up and down. All right. I'm going to move this over here. As you can see, when I slide this over here, this is kind of short, which is fine. It's not terrible. But I'm going to elongate that just a little bit by putting, oh, this isn't working again. We're having problems with my tape gun.
Looks like it's loose.
Yeah. Hubby said he fixed it, but I'm not sure. That didn't look too fixed to me. Let's see. I think.
Didn't break it.
Yeah, okay. All right, so there we go. So I'm gonna extend this a bit. So I'm not gonna place this all the way at the end, or I'm right up against the end, I mean. I'm extending it just a little, and then I'm folding it over. I'm just taking a moment to make sure it's straight, so I don't mess that up. And so that then gives me a little more to play with there. All right, now this is going to mean I'm probably going to need a little bit of a larger envelope if I do that, and I'm fine with that. A lot of times when I give a card anyway, I don't put it in an envelope because I think it's, for me, it's part of the gift. So anyway, so that is moving. Let me think. We're going to start building up the back of this. Oh, I almost forgot. I have this on the back already. That's that little piece that we built. I should have done that first. All right, this is not recommended, but I'm kind of bending that to go through. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I would have slid that through there first. Stephanie's laughing at me right now because things just go wrong. All right, so there we go. There we go. All right. All is good. It's still working. Yay. Do you need to put anything like a powder to help it move? You know, Judy, you could. You absolutely could. Powders would certainly help. We are dealing with paper, so there's going to be some friction. So you could certainly use like a, you know, one of those, you know, static-free powder things or something. It's not going to hurt. I can tell you that. Anything to help it along. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Now you have to see there is some height here, and this is another reason why, you know, these cards are not going to go in a typical envelope just because they're going to be thick. So I'm going to have to cut this because mine is a wide foam. Let me turn this way. Mine's a wide foam, so I'm going to put it down here. This isn't going to go in a typical envelope probably, only because it is going to be a thicker card. You know, you could go up in size with your envelope, and that would work fine. But you know, whenever you have something mechanical, you just don't want to smash it. And then, you know, I also added, I'm adding a lot of depth to it by putting all those pieces up on foam in the front. That's not something you have to do either. You know, you don't have to do as many layers as I'm doing on the front. It would be just fine without that. Actually, I don't need to have the small one here, but well, I will. I'll just leave it. I've already started it, right? So I'm going 3 deep with my foam because my foam is really thin. Are there any questions, Alan?
I'm trying to find them.
Okay. Alan is searching for your questions. I keep trying to think if there's anything else that I need to do in the back of this, and I don't think there is. I think I'm confusing it with our, is that too long? I think I'm confusing it with our other mechanical die. I can't think of the name of it right now off the top of my head. And we need a lot more going on in the back of that one. So I'm going to build these up on all sides because I want to support all sides. I don't want this to get crushed at all when it's being used or stored or shipped. So here's my third piece. And let's cut this a little bit here too. Now let's see. I know it can feel a little tedious also when you're doing all this foam, but it really is worth it to make sure that you're protecting your project. There we go. I'm wondering if I want to put some in the center there. And I think I might. I just want to make sure that I don't want to leave the center without support. There's nothing worse than having something you worked on so hard get crushed. All right, so if I lay this on top here now, I can see that this is going to slide and move very freely. And it's because I have built this up in the back and I've allowed that space for that to happen. So now I'm going to go ahead and get this positioned on the front of my card base. All right, so I make sure I have my card upright. All right, so this is going in the right direction. And this is also in the right direction. Now I also cut, you know what, I'm going to move this down because I want to make sure I get this right. And I'm going to try not to get my head in the camera. But I'm going to get my eyes over top of it so I know if I have it right. Let me see if I got that. Oh, it's crooked. This is where I'm very weird about this stuff. Sorry, everybody. I just want to make sure I get it straight. That kind of stuff drives me bonkers. All right, there we go. I think it's straight. All right, so here we go. And it's moving freely. Test, test, test. It's very important that you always test that stuff. Now, I have also built this up already. I use 3 layers, so it's probably, it's not 1/4 of an inch, it's probably about 1/8 of an inch. But I use 3 layers because my foam is really thin. It's not thick at all. So Sheila's asking, I bought the seesaw die. Oh, that's the one that I was trying to remember the name of. Will you make a card with it sometime? Absolutely. That's another really, really fun one. What?
Not the one you just did the other day?
The seesaw? That's the one that I did, right, it's that one.
Yeah.
But the, yeah. Now, if you see this, I put the, you could bring that over and I'll show them. This one has the, I made sure that I put the foam only around the bottom and up the side here, so it's not going to interfere with this mechanism at all. And that kind of thing is incredibly important. I can't stress that enough. I'm trying to look in the camera to see if I have this on here right. I think I do. I think I do. I think I do. All right. So let's see. Still moving. See that space we have in there? So it's still moving. Okay. And then I have just one layer for, I did a second layer of grass. I didn't have to, but I wanted to, just because I like the dimension. And I just made this one a little bit shorter, and I put one layer of the foam there. So yes, Sheila, I will absolutely, this is the one that, let me make sure, yeah. This is the one that she's talking about. This is a sea slot. Whoops. So that is the one that she's talking about. And yeah, we can do another one with that, absolutely. Oh, there's this one too. How cute is that? They're fun. All right, so this is the whole idea is I'm going to put this guy on here, and I want him to go over this. So I'm going to put this in the center down here. I'm not going to put this up on foam because I don't want him to trip over it when he goes over it. Seriously, I don't want it in the way. Oh, I should have used the other tape. Oopsie, it's gooey. Gooey, gooey. Really gooey. Okay, so let's put this here. Put that on there, but don't press hard because I want to make sure I leave that space back there. He's going to be here. He also needs to go on some foam a little bit to pull him away from that because I don't want him getting stuck in here. So here's some foam, these little foam pieces that I already have. I'm going to do 2 layers of foam, and I want to measure just where I want him to be, because this is, see how this is like shorter down here, and then as I move it up, it goes up. As I move it over, it goes up. I want him to be like here. So and this is where you got to be a little cautious, a little careful, because I don't want to put the foam so low that it interferes down here. But I'm going to put the foam up here on his back, so it's up high. And I want it up high on him so it doesn't interfere with the grass as it moves. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm not going to press it too hard. I'm going to see if it's still going to work. What do we, let's see, we interfered with the grass there. All right, so I need to go up a little bit higher. Let's pull that off of there and go up a tiny bit higher. There we go. That works nice. Okay. Now, this is where I can trim the top of that tab off of there so that you don't see it. So I've shortened that just a little bit, but I have him jumping over, which is so cute. Okay. Now, let's see, can I put him here without being in the way? Yeah, but you know what, I have him on foam and I don't think he should be. I think he's going to be in the way. I'm going to put him here. Yeah, I don't think that works. Let's move him down here because we don't want them running into each other. So, let's move him down here. And then I'm going to have him here or up here. Is he going to be in the way? No. What? What's so funny?
No. Keep those two separated.
I don't know if I want him here. I'm wondering if I want to put a sentiment. So let's see. I'm going to put this on some foam. Use a smaller piece of foam. And I'm going to put him up here. Let me lay it there and see how we do. A couple of trees. I want to see if I have room to put a tree over here. Oh, I do, perfect. But you know what? I didn't cut this one very well, so I think I'm going to see about hiding some of that with another one over here. Yeah, we'll do that. So foam, we're going to use some foam on these. So let's put this one here. Can't get that off of there. There we go. That one down here.
She said you can put the third one inside.
Oh, that's cute. I could do that. Oh, how cute would that be? I like that idea, actually. I'm going to do that. Thank you, Sheila. We're going to do that. That's a great idea. Oops, what did I do? I thought I took the whole thing off of there. There we go. Thank you, Sheila. Someone's thanking. So let's do that. Let's put it here. Very cute. And do I want him over? I want to get him in here somewhere. It's bothering me.
We got a couple of questions over there.
Okay, a couple questions. Sheila, I bought the boardwalk mice. Maybe you could use that stamp set with it. Oh, yes, with the seesaw. Yeah. I could do that. And then Erlene, does this die come with a tab? This comes with, yes. This is the tab. This is the pull tab right in here, this whole piece. It looks like this. It's this right here. This is your pull tab. And then it comes with that extra little piece that allows you to extend it. I'm going to put him here because I just like him there. A little bit of tape there. He's just dancing and having a good old time. Okay. Oops. Maybe that's why I shouldn't have done it.
Why?
Well, because now the other guy ends up like jumping on his face.
Yeah.
All right, he's kicking him in the face. That's not a good idea. He's getting kicked.
Okay.
All right, so we're just going to have that. Either way, he's going to get kicked, no matter where I put him. So, all righty. Let's see if I can move him over a little bit. Maybe I'll put a little sentiment over here. That'll say, this says, wishing you every happiness. So let's do that, because I need something here. It looks kind of blank. So let's do, what does it say? Wishing you every happiness. How about you are very sheepiated? Will that fit?
Is there something about
That'll fit really cute.
counting sheep?
No, there isn't. Well, it does, but it's too big. It says something about when I'm, it says when I count my blessings, I count you twice, but I would have had to use one of those others already, and I didn't. So I didn't plan ahead because I wasn't planning on doing that. I was going to just do something on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and do this. You are very sheepiated. And I'm going to set this off to the side here. There we go. Lower that down. For goodness sakes. It's always fun when they stick to your fingers. Okay. Where's my black? Oh, that's always fun. I just got it on my, oh, I think I did that earlier then. Okay, so look, perfect. Stamped it once, it looks perfect. Clean that off. Put it away. Tell you my every little move. Do you have any more questions?
Well, can you mention the colors again you used on the sky?
Sure. The colors I used on the sky. Let me show you all those. Because I love that sky. I just think it's so dreamy. Here's what I used. In order, and let me put this over here so you can see it. I started from the bottom to the top. I started with Peachy Keen, Pink Tutu, Fandango, Boysenberry Blast, and then Grape Ape. So those are the colors I did on the sky, and I think they're stunning. And then I went over it with that beautiful shimmer. Look at that sky. Oh my gosh, it's so dreamy. I love it.
Are you still doing pre-orders for card markers? I think so, aren't you?
You know what? I have not gotten a ship date yet on those things. I'm not sure what's going on there. So I would say let me hold off on that, only because, all right, somebody's asking if I'm doing pre-orders for the card markers, because we still have, I think, the 26s due. I don't know if we have any of the 60 packs left. Those are gone too?
Yep, 60s, 72s are gone, just the 26s.
Okay.
I think there's only a few left.
There's only a few left of the 26s. They are on order, but I haven't received a ship date yet, so I don't know what their status is in terms of their shipping, the distributor. So let me do this. Let me check with them again. I've written to them and I have not gotten a response. And as soon as I know, I will make an announcement. I don't have them up for pre-order in the store, but I can certainly do that. I just hesitate to do it without knowing when they're coming in. So I'm going to cut a little ribbon or fishtail, whatever you want to call this, in the end of this. I don't like it to be unfinished. I like to have something there. And I'm not going to put this on any foam because I think I have enough foam. So it's already thick enough. Let's fold that over. And I'm going to put this right up against the edge. And try and make sure that that is straight. Straight is really difficult to do and I can't get my head right over the top of it.
Move it towards you.
I'm trying to look in the camera and see if it's straight.
Yeah,
there we go. So there you go. And I did not push him down, which is good. I'm going to lower him just a bit. Look how cute. I think he's adorable. It's like you're counting sheep. So it says, you are very sheepiated. Wishing you every happiness. And thank you, Sharon, for the suggestion of putting the tree on the inside. I absolutely love that. Very cute. Should I put him in there too?
Yes.
Should I? Is that a yes from everybody? Let's do that too, because he's dancing. Why not? There we go. He's a little taller than the tree, but whatever. That's okay. Uh-oh, this moved. Did I not have enough tape on that? What happened? I don't think I pressed down enough. There we go. Let's try that again.
Beverly Gleason said she's going to make several mechanisms at the same time.
Oh, that's...
She saves them.
Oh, Beverly Gleason is saying she's going to make several of those mechanisms at the same time and save them so they're all ready to go. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Fantastic idea. Yay, I hope you like the card. I think it came out really cute. I'm very pleased with it. I really think it's adorable, and anyway. Okay, let me switch my camera back. Hey! Oh, I hope you like that. I really think it turned out nice. Well, you're gonna, oh, you can't see through it. Cool. The green screen, you're not seeing through the green. It's not recognizing it as green or something maybe. That's kind of interesting.
It doesn't match the green background.
Oh, it's too dark. That's why.
It doesn't recognize it as green.
Look at the shine on that sky. I think it's so cool. I just think it's magical and dreamy. Yay. Oh, gosh, our hour is up already. How does that happen? I'll tell you, it just seems to go by so fast. We've got to have a drawing. So I have my prizes here with my little lip stickers on them so that I know not to use these. And that works. I have to have my reminders. So we're going to draw a name. So, make sure you have your comments in there. Alan's going to be pulling a name. And the winner is going to win the Thank You stamp set. This is a 4x8 stamp set. So you get all kinds of goodies in there. And we tell you on the back a little suggestion as to how you can color it. And then you're going to get the dies with it as well. And on the back we show you which die goes with which stamp. So it's perfect. Yay. So who's the winner? He's drawing a name. I'm waiting. Wait, this looks a little too dark. Let me brighten that back up again. There we go. Susan Recklin Weed, W-E-I-D-E. Susan Recklin Weed, I'm going to go with W-E-I-D-E, and I apologize if I'm slaughtering that. So Susan, I need you to get in contact with us one of two ways. You can either send me a private message on Facebook. I need your name, obviously, here. And if you want to include it phonetically so I can say it properly next time, that would be great. I also need your complete mailing address. You can also, if you're not on Facebook, you can send an email to us at customerservice@ldrscreative.com. Alan, you want to type that in somewhere?
Sure.
You have to put it in more than one place. Customer service at ldrscreative.com, and we will get these out to you right away. Yay! So you can have some fun, and you can make yourself a little sheepiated card. Yay! I think it's cute. I like it. Definitely has some weight to it, though, like some thickness there.
You didn't say you are the lucky winner.
Huh? Oh,
You,
Susan, you are the
Beverly.
EWE.
Beverly, yeah.
Thank you, Beverly. That was very, very cute. Somebody is on task tonight. Oh my goodness. Well, it is 8 o'clock, so I think we are done. Oh my gosh. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Take a moment to, if you're not looking at us on YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff, we put out all kinds of goodies, all kinds of things for you guys to see. We put out discounts and stuff, so I would suggest that you go to like our Instagram and our YouTube and subscribe and click on those things and our blog and stuff so that you get all the information that we send out. It's not a ton. We're not going to overwhelm you, but there is a lot of special and cool stuff there, and you're not going to really see it unless you subscribe to those things. So, like us and stuff like that. That also helps us get the word out so that we can, do more and more and more of these for more and more people. So, and tell your friends because we'd love to see them here with us too. So, anyway, I wish you guys a fantastic weekend. We will be back on Tuesday. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe I'll do that seesaw. That was the suggestion. Maybe I'll do that one with the boardwalk mice. We'll see. I also want to tell you guys we have a new release coming up. It's going to be in about 2 weeks. And we're going to do a big reveal on that in a couple of weeks. So that'll be fun. It's probably going to be more than an hour, but we're going to be doing that. So stay tuned for more information on that. And anyway, over and out. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. You have no idea how much it means to me that you guys are here. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.